Everybody, Ryan Hall here. Just checking in, giving you a Folsom Lake update. I've been out there quite a few times over the last month, 2 months, and it's fishing really good this year. It's been really fun. Not my normal cup of tea, but being that it's 15 minutes from the house, it's nice to get out there in the evenings after work and whatnot. So we've been catching them pretty good between my brother and I, my girlfriend Taylor and I. When we sneak out there, good things seem to happen. Earlier in the year, my brother and I were catching quite a few 4 to 5 pounders. Taylor has been smoking me the last couple trips. She's got high 3 and a couple of other 3.5s and a 3-pounder to go with it. So I'm just going to give you a breakdown on what's going on, how we're catching them, and all that, and kind of some baits that we're using to do it. So the big thing right now at Folsom is I don't know if it's necessarily the exact baits we're throwing. Those do make a big deal, or they do make a big difference, but I think knowing where they're going, where they are, what they're trying to accomplish in their movements is going to make a lot bigger difference in your fishing success. We've caught them on multiple different baits, from winding things fast to really slow dragging. So understanding where they are, what they're trying to do. The spawn is pretty much over. It's pretty much done. So you can count on your spawn fishing not really being great if there's any left. These fish are coming out of those spawning areas, transitioning out and trying to get to their summertime haunts out deeper, whether that be they're trying to get off a ledge, they're trying to get to a rock pile, into some current, whatever it may be. So understand where those fish are, and you might have to feel those out day by day, because over the last couple weeks tracking these fish, they're moving further and further out every time I go out. The week before when I was out there, caught them in 10 feet. This last week when I was there, I was catching them in 10 to 15, and then I caught a couple out in 20. So you kind of just got to feel it out. I mean, it's happening so quick. Have your finger on the pulse. Don't be afraid to make adjustments. Read, understand what these fish are trying to tell you. Every bite is a piece of the puzzle. So using the knowledge that you acquire out there is going to make a big difference, and then having you project into your next success, or what your next stop's going to be, or what your next bait selection is going to be, and find out what's going to work best for you. Here are our top 3 baits, pretty much, that we've been catching them on. The first one, which was the pattern that kind of is fizzling but not really fizzling. Granted, this one has a nail weight in it because I've been Nico rigging it, but this is a 5-inch X-Zone Lures True Center Stick. Let's see if you can see that a little better right there. Natural shad. I wanted something real natural. The water's pretty clean, 10-foot visibility. I just wanted something that looked real natural and good in the environment. So you can throw them weightless. I did catch a couple fish on a weightless last weekend as well, but it takes, it is weightless. It takes a while for that thing to get down there to the 15-foot range. So I started Nico rigging it just like that, on same hook, literally same hook, same bait. The G-Finesse weedless stinger, my go-to wacky rig hook, and then all I did to change it out was this is a Dobbins D-nail in there. They sell them pretty much everywhere, but in my opinion, they are the best Nico rig hook. The head design, it's got like a football head jig style setup on it, so it really keeps your baits down on the bottom better. Your bottom contact, it doesn't want to lift as much. So the D-nail was a good one, paired up with that X-Zone and the Gami hook. But that's been a good one for us, and really just kind of dragging it around. Get it down there, whether it's over the rocks, on a ledge, whatever it may be, get it down there, and just kind of drag it around, hop it, do your thing, and then they will bite it. So that's been a good one for us. This one as well, the drop shot. I know everybody has drop shot rods in their boat, but the drop shot was a big player last weekend. These fish are starting to not be as shallow, so getting it down to the bottom is starting to become a little bigger deal, because they are relating to the bottom, the ledges, the rocks, things like that, as they transition out to summer. So Taylor actually smoked me on this. She had a couple over 3 last weekend doing this post-spawn largemouth, and basically just throwing the drop shot out there and just dragging it around. Super simple, just dragging it real slow, and then you just feel a tick, or it would just get real heavy and just load up. The vibe I'm getting from the fish was they weren't wanting to move a lot. They would eat when you got it around them, but they were not wanting to react a whole ton. They didn't want a super aggressive presentation. They're just kind of lethargic. The post spawn, like it is right now, it's like having a hangover. So they don't really want to be doing anything crazy. They just want, something comes in front of them, they're just gonna lick it up. So good baits for the drop shot. That one right there, the X-Zone Lures Hot Shot Minnow. I've been catching quite a few fish on that this year, actually. And then you can never go wrong with your regular old 4.5, 5-inch finesse worm, whether it be a robo worm, a trick worm, whatever. So those are all good ones. And then I even started playing around with a little faster moving bait, and I was getting them to eat it just fine. And that is the underspin. So I was throwing this Gamakatsu Superline underspin. Really liking this over the last couple of years. Done a ton of damage for me at Clear Lake, Berryessa, the Delta, or not the Delta, Motherlode Lakes. Where was I? Don Pedro. And so it's been doing tremendous work for me. But getting that thing around, getting it coming a little faster, I was still able to get the bites, but I didn't get the quality, and that could have just been the fish that I put it in front of or whatever. Taylor on the drop shot this last weekend, post-spawn largemouth. The ones I was catching on the underspin, I was throwing it out a little deeper too. I was catching, those spotted bass, so further removed from the spawn, but thick, healthy spotted bass, and caught one largemouth on it. So with that being said, if you guys are wanting to get out to Folsom Lake, now's the time to do it. It's fishing really nice. If you get around them, stay around them. If you're not getting bit, find somewhere else, because if you're not around them, you're going to know quickly. It usually only takes about 10 minutes. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on my social media at Ryan Hall Fishing across the board, or if you're seeing this on rbbass.com or rbbass's social media, feel free to send them a message. They will send it to me. I'll see it and I'll get right back to you guys. So go catch some fish, have some fun, and let me know how you guys do.